Hey there, it's Lokazi. Thanks for joining me for Game 1 between University of Houston and Rice University. We're just starting up the game now. Menace is going to be playing for Rice as the blue Protoss, and EXO for University of Houston as the red Protoss. So here we go. Map is going to be MLG Metalopolis. Getting some messages. Alright, we'll have to see where they load in. Now, Protoss vs. Protoss did change in this most recent patch, as you can no longer warp in up ramps as easily because of the line of sight change up ramps. They reduced the vision by 1. And EXO is telling me this actually made a very dramatic difference in Protoss vs. Protoss, which he kind of enjoys. So we'll have to see how that translates into. I have not seen him play a Protoss vs. Protoss since the patch, so it'll be interesting to see what his strategy is here. He didn't always 4-gate or anything like that, but interesting to see what he is doing standard now, knowing that the 4-gate is much less effective. Alright, let's see. Nothing too exciting here. We have EXO spawning in the top left position as the, I guess just the top position, as the red Protoss for University of Houston. And we have Menace spawning in the right-hand position as the blue Protoss, so they're close by air. Wonder if any type of Phoenix or other Stargate play will come into effect here, or Warp Prism drops now that they increase the amount of HP on those. Could be kind of interesting to sneak one across there. We'll have to see what players do though. And it's dropping a Pylon right there. The volume is just a little bit higher. Turn that down just a little bit. It was being deafened by, what's it called, last week? Which, by the way, is my stream very laggy currently. Guess not. No one's saying anything or complaining. We have a little bit of lag there, probably because I just alt-tab between. I apologize there. Both players chrono boosting out probes. No type of differentiation so far. 9 pylon. No gateways going down. Boosting their 13th probes. Yep. Now gateways are going to drop. In almost identical positions. They're walling up their entrance to the left-hand side of their mineral lines here. And EXO moving down, scouting around, seeing if there's a proxy right there behind the mineral line, something that players do. Scouts over there to extremely close positions and then heads south. Now both players can probably assume, if they're mirroring each other, that they are scouting in the correct direction first. And they're going to know that they're going to be close by ground. We have the second pylon going down behind the mineral line there for EXO. A little bit of an interesting thing there, a little bit of probe harassment. Oops, stealing a mineral. Thinking about stealing a mineral. It's like Menace is just going to constantly harass that probe. EXO doing the same thing here. So both players... Uh-oh, EXO's probe getting... Oh, there he goes, sneaks out there. We have a cybernetics core going down as well. Gonna help block that up a little bit more. Both players just walling up around their nexus. Nexi, I guess, because it's plural. We have a second gateway there going down for EXO, and there's something weird that if you actually place a worker right here next to the gas, you can't build a building. So that's what EXO is doing right there, blocking that off. And Menace starting his chrono boost on his warp gate research. EXO has not started his warp gate research, interestingly enough. He does have a second gateway down, and he's picking up the simulator. There he goes, just now starting up warp gate. I'm not sure if there's a little bit of slip up in timing. He certainly had the gas for it. Not sure exactly what he was going for there. He has enough for a chrono boost, so will he be boosting it here in just a second? No. Looks like he's still saving chrono. He has a stalker coming out. It's going to chase that probe out and disallow it from returning. We have a Zeal that kind of poked up the ramp there and decided not to kill EXO's probe. Not really sure what was going on there. We have double boost going out of EXO's gateways. He has 2 more stalkers coming up. Meantime, Menace is dropping his second gateway and a robo. Now EXO is going to have more units here. He's just trying to clear out any type of site in the middle of the map, and there he goes. He killed off that probe. So now Menace is in the dark a little bit here, and EXO is going to have a little bit of a timing here to harass with these 3 stalkers before enough defense gets out. EXO starting his robo now. So it looks like EXO opted for a little bit of 2-gate pressure, which is the differentiation between these 2 players' builds. Looks like he's going to kind of scout around and make sure there's nothing coming across the map type of proxies or something. I'm not really sure what he's doing there. He's not going to poke up the ramp. Both players are safe with their sentries out on the field right now. Menace starting up his Immortal. I'm not actually sure if the Immortal can fit out right there, to be honest. That looks like a 1 square gap to me. I'll have to see when he starts to wander out there. Exo's sentry moving up there. So both players going similar builds, just in different build orders. Oh, yep. Sneaks out. There you go. Colossus don't really have an issue there because they can just walk down the hill. So it's totally legit for sneaking out there. Guess Immortals are not as fat as I thought they were. We have Observers coming out for both players. Pretty much a mirror identical builds right now. Both of them starting on their 3rd gateway, have their robos up. Now, Menace does have an extra, or an Immortal on Exo right now. By putting that, he's a little bit more economic in his build. It's kind of interesting to see what he goes there. And Exo already starting his robotics ban. He has Stalkers patrolling right now. Observer chilling in the middle of the air to try and prevent any scouting from going on here. Denying as much information as possible. Really good micro out of both players right now. They're most assuredly watching these areas for any type of observer movement. So just a little bit behind in supply. It's probably because he does have a Immortal less than his opponent. Warp Prism starting up there for Menace, so he is going to try some Warp Prism play, probably moving those Immortals over and dropping them, but Exo does have pretty good vision. He doesn't have vision right here, so there could be a little bit of an issue there. Exo's Warp Prism is also finishing up right now, so probably some back and forth Warp Prism play. We have a Proxy Pylon for Menace, and it looks like Exo is sneaking into the back of the base over here, trying to get some vision. Sees that Warp Prism. Good catch there by Exo. He did see that. Now the Immortals are going to try and move across and get some drop on, but Exo is moving to the 1 empty position on his map. He's going to have to leave some sentries at the top of his ramp, though, to prevent Zeal run-in. So we'll have to see how he handles that. We have the pressure coming across the map now from Menace. They're going to clear out this probe. Exo knows that it's all on the move right now. And it looks like he's going to be going for a drop at the same time, which should be pretty interesting. Not sure if that's actually going to work out. We have the Warp Prism sneaking up. It's going to land right here. Is it going to drop? There it goes. The 2 Immortals drop on the top of the hill, and the field goes up. Stalkers being booted up, drop down, and things are not looking good for Exo here. He, in the meantime, is in the mineral line, ripping apart some probes, but it looks like there's an entire army in his base that he's not aware of, and that Immortal does sneak around to the back. Actually, really good placement there. A lot of force fields going down. Probes getting pulled. Exo may be able to hold this. Looks like Menace is wasting a lot of shots on Exo's buildings, actually. And now all the probes coming off the line. They're going to be able to surround and do a lot of damage to these Immortals. Immortal getting blocked in, getting picked off there. Zeal's coming out, working on the Immortals. Big exchange here for Exo. He actually took out that Nexus. So if he manages to hold all these warp ends, which he may not be able to do, he has no probes left, no mining, and this Immortal is going to get taken out probably prematurely. Exo drops, taking out... Oh, wow, nice pickup there by Exo. Dropping it back down again, needs to pick it back up. He does. Great micro out of Exo right now. Just ridiculously good. Look at that drop play micro. Menace calling GG. Exo takes the first game for University of Houston with some awesome micro play with that Immortal. And thank you, Snakes, for making fun of him. I'm going to go ahead and put up my away message there. You jerk. So that was game 1. They're taken by Exo. Very nice play by him. I kind of want to check the CSL area, but I don't want anything given away too much. But that was fantastic, and actually it's really exciting to watch. So I appreciate that both those players actually went for really similar styles to just show how just a little bit of micro and a little bit of build order difference just makes one player come out ahead. Exo did go for the risk there. He brought part of his army away and then used his probes to defend as opposed to using his full army to defend. He ran that drop over, and I think he might have warped in a Zeal or 2 over there. I'm not exactly sure. But just really great play out of both players there. So game 1 going to University of Houston. Exo takes it. and we'll be going into game 2 in just a minute. I'm going to stop the cast just for a moment, and then I'll start it up again when the next game starts up. I'm not sure how long that's